Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show. Meet the trusted experts who will give you straight answers and will help guide you on the path of later life care. Now, here's your host, founder, caregiver, and CEO, Suzanne Newman.
And welcome back, everyone, to Answers for Elders Radio Network. And I'm here with Lanna Perkins, who is the CEO of Fedelta Home Care in the Pacific Northwest. And Lanna, you know, we talk about a lot about home care, but we haven't talked this hour of all the things that a home care agency does, not only for the senior, but also, believe it or not, for the informal family caregiver. I would just love to have you share a little bit about how you make everybody's life easier.
Yes, I'd love to share.
Because I think that's it in a nutshell, isn't it?
Pretty much, we definitely go in and many times our caregivers are truly the heroes. So one thing I want to share with you, and Suzanne, you and I were talking about this earlier, is that a lot of people don't know really what home care services are. And sometimes they get kind of mixed up with home health. And if I could spend just a minute or so just kind of explaining the difference between home care and home health, because I think it's an important piece, because again, they get kind of blended. So home care services are non-medical services that we provide to people in their home, and we call them activities of daily living. So that's like hygiene, dressing, taking a shower, moving around your home, maybe bed mobility, repositioning, things like that. And home health is actually services provided by a licensed practical or registered nurse that are medical in nature, like wound care, catheter care, things that are, we call kind of like almost episodic, like just like it might happen just once. They might come in and provide one type of task. And so the type of services we provide are the first ones I described, which are the home care services. So it really can range. And it's interesting, you know, every client has different care needs. We provide, you know, maybe supervision support for someone who is mobile. They can move around their home. They can still feed themselves, but we're there to do coaching, cueing, maybe help them make sure they take their medication, help them with some hygiene, meal preparation, all the way, the full spectrum to someone who might be quadriplegic, who really is dependent on a caregiver to provide every single activity of daily living for them, helping them prepare and set up everything for meals, feeding them, and all of those supports. So that's really what kind of the gamut of kind of home care is. And home care is really intended to be an hourly service. So we can come in for 1 hour visits all the way up to live-in support. What we call 24/7 care, where we're providing 24/7 awake care for clients. And so we provide the full range of service, which is really great for families, because you could be the informal caregiver and say, I have Saturday and Sunday off. Every Saturday and Sunday, I don't want to be the caregiver for my mom. And we can come in as the home care agency and provide two 12-hour shifts on Saturdays and Sundays, and really just give you the weekend back, essentially. Or it could be just a morning routine or evening routine, or even providing supports during the day while you're like the informal caregivers at work. So we run the full kind of spectrum of care needs. And we also can accompany to medical appointments, do medical escort, grocery shopping, activities like errands and the park. You know, for private pay clients, they like to go to the casino, we'll take them. So, you know, lots of different things that people like to do. We can make sure that client still has integration in the community, which is very, very, very.
And you know, Flana, what you're saying is so valuable, because you know, you think about all the things that a quote unquote informal family caregiver does in a day. And you really lose sight of your life. I think that's the thing. I know for me, you know, I share my story a lot. So my listeners certainly know about all this, is the fact that, you know, we have so many opportunities to provide support to our families. But even more importantly, I know when I was caring for my mom, you guys, people like you, were my lifeline. I could ask questions like we talked about. She had dementia. I didn't understand how to deal with her. She was very combative at times. She had a lot of, you know, miscalculations of, the reality of this situation. And I think one of the things that people like you come in and it's like, it's okay. And I found myself too, feeling like there was so many embarrassing moments in, things that my mother would say to people because the filters were all gone. and it was great because they get it. And they walk in and they're loving and they're caring. And, that's the piece I think that's so valuable in all of this is the fact that you have a life, but not only you have a life, you can help have them do the hard stuff. And I think that's what's most important.
Yeah, I completely agree. And so often people don't understand how to initiate the experience of getting the home care services. Because a lot of times we run into situations where like, well, mom and dad, they don't want that. They want me to do it. And so I think that that's another area that we can also help and help kind of curate the conversation for the family and why services are going to be really valuable.
Sure.
And really coming in sooner rather than later, in my opinion, even for small amounts of hours, works out so much better than coming in a crisis. When we come in a crisis, there's a lot of other things going on, a lot of other factors that would be minimized if there was a kind of a slow introduction to home care.
And just, I do believe that Medicaid with a doctor's request can cover certain types of home care depending on the situation of the senior. So in that case, if you have a low fixed income and is still in your home, if you qualify for Medicaid, you can get a lot of those services depending on where you are.
One thing that's important, a lot of times people feel like they're like, oh, I have Medicare, can I get home care?
Right.
And the answer is no. So if you have Medicare covers only in certain situations, and it's a whole home health services. So home care services are funded through Medicaid, and every state is different in the way that their Medicaid programs function. But if you are on a fixed income or a low income, I would 100% look into a Medicaid program in your state to provide the funding for the services. And it's a wonderful benefit. It's absolutely fantastic. And provide Medicaid to home care services in Washington State. Finished my entire career I have, and I'm happy to do it. I think that's what people need.
And I'm going to close out this segment, just say, absolutely that we in this industry want to do right by our seniors, and we will work with families to find the right solution that fits them. There's no cookie cutter solutions. And I think that's what's exciting. And so Flana and we will be right back right after this.
Time to get back to Suzanne and more Answers for Elders.
I am wanting to say thank you so much, Flana, for being with us this hour. It's been such an honor, and I know that you're going to tell us a little bit as we go out today about Fedelta Home Care. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This has been a wonderful experience.
And until next week, be good to each other. We at Answers for Elders thank you for listening. Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making. Find us at answersforelders.com.